This is a PDR live streaming tonight, December 19th, 2024. Please like our live stream and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. So tonight I'm just briefly going to go over something that happened this week. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sought to become the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. So, and we're going to take a look at a article from Axios and learn about who actually defeated her. Some of you probably have already heard what happened in the particulars of this story, but we're going to go ahead and jump right into it soon. We want to thank all our new subscribers as well for following and subscribing to our channel. So here we are. This is the So this is the article, and Axios points out the following here. So House Democrats on Tuesday elected Representative Gerry Connolly, Democrat from Virginia, as a ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, according to multiple lawmakers familiar with the matter. So why it matters, Connolly, 74, defeated 35-year-old Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who's a Democratic representative from New York, withstanding a generational revolt that saw several of the Democrats' septuagenarian committee leaders pushed out of their roles. So I believe it was, I forget who, Jerry Nadler, I believe, was the person, I'm sorry, no, it was Jamie Raskin. And I think Raskin actually is younger than he actually might be younger than Gerry Connolly. But so wanted to discuss this a little bit tonight. I had been planning to do this live stream sooner, but other events, the Luigi Mangione case kind of took precedence over this. So people are definitely pointing out the age. Oh, and by the way, the person who masterminded her defeat was none other than Nancy Pelosi, the former Speaker of the House. So she lost to Connolly by a 131 to 84 vote among the Democratic caucus. Now, so here it is. So like we've discussed before, in this election, the Republicans retain control of the House, so they keep control of all the chairmanships. And so the importance of this role is that the ranking member, of course, is not the chairman or the chair member or the chairwoman of the said committee. Rather, the ranking member would become the chair if the majority party loses its majority status and becomes a minority. So if the Republicans, for some reason, because it's a very razor thin margin, I think it's a 220 to 215 majority, if they were to lose 3 members of Congress because of illness or whatever, what have you, or if someone dies or they resign, then during this session the Democrats could potentially take control, and so the ranking member would become the next chair of that committee. So that's why that position is very important. But I wanted to take a look at some of the reasons that some of the people gave as to why they voted for Connolly over Ocasio-Cortez. So I said here, Connolly hinged his case on experience and his political ability, including arguing that he helped make Virginia a blue state, according to multiple lawmakers who heard this pitch. He's been the ranking member in waiting, and said Representative Emmanuel Cleaver, Democrat of Missouri. And Cortez emphasized her far-reaching public platform, her ability to communicate, and her energetic support for colleagues in recent congressional elections. And then it goes on to state here that the reason that they also voted for Connolly, the Democrats who ended up voting for him, they um, they basically pointed out that he had seniority over Ocasio-Cortez. He's been in Congress a lot longer than she has, and so forth. So, and then the last time that somebody um, challenged, or they had a challenge for a chair, a committee seat, was in 2014, and right there. So, and then so the case that she made here, she says that she's raised over $1 million for members. She's paid all her dues. She was once most active surrogates for the Biden-Harris campaigns, and so forth and so on. And then Becca Balint, the representative, said that she's disappointed. Is disappointed. I know Gerry will do a great job, but here there's no substitute for having someone in that position that literally has millions of Americans following her. And I think the seniority issue in this building gets in the way. Our people back home, they don't care about seniority and so forth. But so you read on, and that's really not the story. But and Ken Kleppenstein, shout out to him again. Um, I'm relying a lot on his reporting on a lot of these live streams. But he had pointed this out on his Substack, and it's mentioned here in Axios. Um, it says here, Connolly said the following: "We're looking at capability. We're not looking at age. Is somebody capable, irrespective of how old they are, and if they bring energy, and enthusiasm." So then this other person who's, I guess, supporting it says Gerry's a young 74, cancer notwithstanding. So what they're talking about there is that he, and I'm sorry, we definitely, I don't want to make light of this. I'm not laughing that he had got cancer. I'm laughing at the stupidity of the Democrats not nominating a guy like this. I personally, I really, I'm not too delighted with the job that AOC has been doing, the role that she has been playing recently in the Democratic Party. I think she's too accommodationist within the party, and she needs to, in my opinion, target centrist, and because these people who are centrist or mainstream establishment types, they are the enemies of progressives in the Democratic Party, and if you think otherwise, you are naive, period. And so I think she's under this illusion that if she works within the party, that she can get somewhere. But look what just happened to her. That's hasn't really worked out at all. But this is really the story here. So I'm laughing because of this here, not his cancer, but because they nominated someone who a month ago made this announcement. He said, "Dear friends, a few days ago I learned I joined the ranks of millions of Americans. I have cancer of the esophagus. It was a surprise because, except for some intermittent abdominal aches and pains, I had no symptoms. I'm going to undergo chemotherapy and immunotherapy right away. Cancer can be tough, but so am I. I will attack this the only way I know how, with Irish fight and humor. With a great team of doctors, nurses, and medical technicians, we are very confident in a successful outcome over the next few months. As I do my job here in our district and on the Hill, I may be a bit fatigued due to the treatment. I hope you'll understand, but be assured I'm full of hope and I'm sustained by the love, support, and encouragement of my family, friends, and of all of you. My wonderful staff, and I look forward to serving you all in this new term and in the future. It is a privilege to represent and serve each and every one of you. See you on the hustlings. Your friend and public servant, Gerry Connolly." So that's really the issue there. So he has the cancer of the esophagus. Okay, and so right at the moment, he's undergoing chemotherapy for this illness. Okay, and it's something that you cannot be taken light of. And we wish him, I wish him a speedy recovery. I wish him the very best. We never have ill will here towards anyone, regardless of their party or their or whatever identification ideology they are. Um, but that's not the point here. The point here is that this is a very serious issue, and that Democrats are have not really uh, thought of this uh, well. They haven't really thought this situation well, because they're giving a ranking membership. Uh, they're giving a position for someone to become the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee to someone who's battling cancer at the moment. And so I know I had um, so I know I had information here about this cancer, but apparently, from what I heard, this cancer has a very high rate of fatalities. So it's going to be, we wish him the best, but it's going to be not a miracle, but um, he's going to have to overcome um, this disease, and it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of a lot of therapy on his part. So I just found this right now on the website, which buttresses the point that I had read. I don't know much about this cancer, but this is what I read. This is from the website here, the Cleveland Clinic, and this is the section right over here. Is there a cure for this esophageal cancer? Sometimes healthcare providers can do surgery to remove small tumors. Unfortunately, only 25% of the people with this cancer receive a diagnosis before the cancer spreads. It says esophageal cancer affects about 4 in 100,000 people in the U.S. It typically affects men and people designated male at birth or age 60 or older. It's more common in men and people DMAB than in women and people designated female at birth. People who are black and people who are Asian with this condition usually have squamous cell esophageal cancer. People who are white are more likely to have adenocarcinoma, esophageal cancer, and so forth. And how this does it typically grows fast. This is why people often don't have symptoms until the cancer has spread. So yeah, there it is. So it's very dim, unfortunately. And anybody who undergoes this illness, so hearts go out to people that have this. It says here, what can I expect if I have esophageal cancer? That depends on factors like your overall health and if you've received a diagnosis before the tumor spread. Healthcare providers often successfully treat early stage esophageal cancer. About 36% of people treated for early stage esophageal cancer are alive 5 years after diagnosis. So that means 54% are not. Okay. They die within 5 years. Healthcare providers may not be able to destroy the cancer, especially if it's already spread. They can provide treatment to help you live as long as you're able to maintain quality of life and ease symptoms. They may recommend palliative care that can help you live comfortably and without pain, and so forth. So the point here is, why are you nominating a man who has this issue? Well, why is Pelosi? What is the thinking behind this? If you don't want Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to have the position, fine, pick somebody else. Okay. Well, why are you choosing seniority? This person is not fit. That they actually should not even be in Congress, to be honest. With all due respect to him, he should have resigned and focused on recovery. because this disease doesn't seem like it's not a laughing matter, and I don't think that he's going to be able to give 100% in his role as a public servant when he's battling this disease that has a when we don't know. I don't know what if it's the early stages or if the cancer really has spread or how serious it is, but from what we read, this sounds like a very serious disease. But I point this out just to show people that the Democratic Party is just picks the wrong nominees. Do you look at Joe Biden, right? And people already knew he had health issues before 2020. It was known. Yet they nominate the guy anyway. They tell the public he's fine. And they're doing this again here. They're telling the public that this guy can handle this job of being the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee. Yeah. I mean, what a joke. I mean, people who follow the news, and they see this, they just will obviously lose respect for whatever, for the Democratic Party, whatever respect they actually have left. But it's situations like this that should show you why Democrats lose these elections. Because look who they're picking to be the leaders of the party. People who are not fit. They're not healthy. We have the case, of course, of Joe Biden. We had Dianne Feinstein, who had dementia, and they lied to the public. They kept that hidden. And she was serving my state, the state of California, and she was forgetting stuff. So she really did not represent our state to her full capacity because she was battling an illness. And her staff and Pelosi again were trying to hide that from the public. And they're doing it again with this guy here, except that he had to release the information publicly. And there's no way around this to hide this, but it really is a shame. The other lesson we have here is that the AOC should realize, yes, they're willing to put someone who's almost dying of cancer, they're willing to put him in a leadership position before you. So what should that tell you? That this party establishment, they're not your friends, period. Like, you need to wake up. Yeah. So by just trying to get along with people, that's not going to get you anywhere. And I know that every time I give advice to people, whether it's Republicans, Democrats, third party, Green Party, independent, socialist, communist, whatever, every time I give advice to people, they're never going to do it. And this is another case. They're not going to do it. Like the Democrats, obviously they didn't learn their lesson. They're not going to learn their lesson. And people like AOC and the squad, are they going to fight the establishment? No. Why? Because they never learned their lesson. And so that's why the progressive, so-called progressive movement within the Democratic Party has really gotten nowhere in the last 4 years. Started off with a hopeful sign, but they haven't really done well. So yeah, that's my take. Let me know what you think here in the comments. Please like the live stream here, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, PDR Live, please do so. Thank you so much for joining. This has been a PDR Live. Thank you, folks. Have a good night.